In this video we're going to talk about Diligence records. So I apologise, I've got hay fever. Basically I'm snorting and sniffing, so if that comes into the video I'll apologise outright. But yeah, so if you press start you can come down to Diligence records. So we're going to go through each one and just explain a little bit about each one basically. So you got Adventure, Another Life, Friendship, Shops, Friendships and Battle. So if you start with Adventure, it gives you a little description at the bottom. So Garrulous Goshi, talk to people or animals 100 times, talk to people or animals 300 times, talk to people or animals 500 times. So a lot of this is going to be doing the same actions over and over and over again. So you might want to mix it up as you go around doing missions, doing sub-stories. Just make sure you're talking to people. You should get this just naturally, probably, by the end of the game. This one's eat at restaurants 20 times, 50 times, 100 times, 200 times. So for this one, I think you get a decent bit of armour. Let me see if I can find it. It's called the Fiorin Kazan, which is there. So you get that from Bob Utsonimaya, who is located on the map, which is... Where's the map gone? There it is. So he is located in Teradaya, so he's at this back right corner of Teradaya. And basically, if you eat at every restaurant, I think it is, if you eat all the foods at every restaurant, should I say, you get that equipment, which is really useful for completing like legendary and stuff. So that's definitely worth doing. So there is I think they give you a list, do they, of restaurants, like what you've eaten. If not, you can go on like Sirix's Guide or Power Picks and just get a list and then tick them off as you go for the foods. Some of them unlock at different times of day and stuff like that, so definitely useful. Worth doing that early on in the game if you're doing Legend straight off the bat, because that armour helps keep you alive basically. So this one's obtain 20 items from pots. So you see pots like dotted around the map all over the show. So you have to get 100 of those eventually. So just do it as you're running around. If you see a pot, just poke your hand in. Once you've got 100, you don't need to go into the pots anymore. The Ninja of Jinja, Swami of Kami, Shinobi of Shinto. So that's pray at shrines and Jizu statues 100 times. So you see quite a few shrines around town. I can show you what they look like on the map, hopefully. That little blue thing there, I think. Is that a shrine? Nope. That shrine? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it definitely is, because there's one like right there. So that's the shrine sort of symbol. The little blue icon. So if you see them on the map, they're all over the show. You can like go back and forth if you want. Do that. But yeah, it's easy enough to get by the end of the game. You'll be doing it a lot, no doubt. It's also where you can get your items, like your storage items, and you get a little bit of virtue for it. Play minigames 25 times, 50 times, 100 times. So I think that includes dungeons, pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, it might do, but either way, you'll be struggling on a few minigames, no doubt, to get a decent score or whatever. So you will play minigames quite a lot. And there are quite a few mini games in the game, so you'll get through that pretty much by the end of the game if you're going for all the trophies. Gobbler, eat food from your inventory 30 times, 100 times, 200 times, 400 times. I mean, it's just crazy numbers, isn't it? It's just ridiculous, making you do the same thing over and over again. But yeah, you can buy food at any of the stores. You get food also at your house. You can get like fruit and veg. So yeah, there's plenty of places you can get it, and just churn through it basically if you want to grow your own or whatever. It's a good idea. 20 medicinal items, 50 medicinal items, 100, 200. So I would recommend you can buy like the cheapest stuff if you want to just nail through it, but you will probably use quite a lot of medicinal items throughout the game if you're new to it. In the top left corner on the map where the Shinto priest is, he sells you for virtue like a really good potions and stuff which like fully heal you. and fully like do up your heat bar. So that's where to get the most useful medicinal items. Palanquins, 5, 15, 30. So these are basically the two people with a box in the middle, and they used to carry people around in the box, and they get from A to B if you were rich, basically. So yeah, that's pretty simplistic. You can use them to fast travel around the towns from place to place, so really useful little tool for saving time running around. Having said that, you do probably want to run around quite a bit, not only for some of these, I think you have to run like 500k or whatever it is, but for getting into fights and stuff, for getting the seals, it's definitely worth just fighting random enemies because the drop rates increased, I think. I don't know how recent it was, but it was definitely a few weeks after launch, so definitely worth it. Just a quick swig of my beer there. Right, relaxing in Rakanai 3.7 max. So these are for, I think there was another trophy for this, where you get all these to max reputation. And basically your reputation goes up when you shop at places in that town, when you do sub-stories, when you do like bits and pieces like friendships and stuff. If you do run out of things to do in the town and you're still not maxed, you can buy them at the Virtue place in the top left corner where the Shinto priest is. You can actually buy it, but it's quite a small amount, so when you get into the later amounts you need a lot of money or Virtue to get that to max level, so be wary of that. But for most of them, I think there was only one that I didn't get to max naturally. The rest I think I got through pretty naturally. So you can see there that for Rakanai, Rakagai, Mukurogai, Fushimi, Gion. But yeah, you just buy them from the Virtue place, and that should be absolutely fine for you. Spend 30 Rio, spend 100 Rio, spend 300 Rio, 500 Rio. So 500 Rio, as you can see, is what I'm already on there. Which at the start of the game it seems like absolutely loads because you find it hard to make money at the start. There is a chicken race glitch. It's not a glitch really, it's just sensible betting on a rigged system. So if you go to the chicken racing place and you save it outside, you go in, you bet all the different variations on one chicken, and then basically you go, if it wins, you'll get a decent amount. Keep doing that until you get a lot. Once you've got a lot, you go to the gambling den or whatever it is, the gambling den token place, and then you buy silver hammers, and then you go to Ibizu Pawn on the big main strip at the top of the map, and you sell your silver hammers, and you get a shed load of money and you get a shed load of Virtue. So it all kind of works together. But you'll get this by the end of the game easily, probably even without much grinding. So here's what I was saying before: walk 150k. So I think walking is just run like with the analog, so you don't press X, you don't hold X to run. You just walk, which you probably do quite a lot anyway naturally, going from place to place. And then you've got sprint 50k. Again, like you just hold X. Kiryu runs out of stamina pretty quickly, but you can upgrade that at the Virtue place. Wellness check. Draw water from well 50 times. Good place to do the well on is Mibu in the Shinsengumi or whatever it is headquarters. So there's a well right at the back, I think, and you just basically go from the door back to the well, out the door, back to the well, out the door. That's the quickest way to do it. I was going like from A to B to C to D. Pointless. Just go to the headquarters and do it there. It'll save you a lot of time. Deliver packages. So the frequently lost courier is near the main building at the bottom, Teradaya or whatever it was called. So you just have to talk to him. He'll tell you to deliver packages. He'll give you the general location of where they are. He'll probably give you the street name, so you can just look on the map, run to that area, and you'll see them just stood around waiting for a package, and then you just give them the package. So it's pretty simple. Shop logs. So the lumberjack's sort of in the bottom left side of the map, and all you have to do for chopping logs is just tap X pretty much. When the blue flash hits, you tap X and it gets faster and faster and faster. You have to do 100 chops in one go anyway, so you just have to do that. It's not a mini game, but you'd have to do it 5 times. And he's actually one of the friendships and bonds or whatever it is. So we go to Another Life. So Another Life is all based in Ryoma's villa. So to get to Ryoma's villa, it's sort of in the bottom left-ish side of the map. There's a guy on a boat, and he says, "Do you want to go over here?" You go over there. This is after you unlock it, by the way. And then, yeah, you just use him to go back to there. So this is usually to do with farming and stuff like that. So as you can see, harvest 50 produce items, harvest 200, harvest 500, harvest 1,000, harvest 1,500. So yeah, 1,500 times. Depending on what you grow, you can get quite a lot from certain batches of vegetable. But you're going to be doing this anyway a lot. So you're going to have to mix it up with all these ones coming up. So you will probably get this naturally, just trying to get these ones. So 50 ginseng. Ginseng's probably the longest, most time consuming. But you can use fertilizer, which people do sell on the big main strip at the top of the map. So you can buy some fertilizer. Fertilizer, it sort of speeds up the process. And if you come back, I think if you leave Ryoma's villa and then come back, you can fertilize again and just keep doing that. As far as I'm aware, could be wrong there, but I think I did that. Cabbage, taro, tomato, strawberry, all the same thing basically. You just plant them at the little shack. There's a little shack by his plot. So basically you can upgrade the plot to the biggest size, and then you do all of these by just placing them in. Or you can do random select, and that randomly selects different things. So you can adjust as necessary if you want, but it's pretty simple stuff. So you should be fine with that. Cook 10 times, 30 times, 50 times, 100 times. You have to cook one of every meal. So you'd need to have a load of ingredients anyway to do that. But it forces you to do probably about 60 times cooking, maybe. Actually, no, I think there's only about 20 recipes or something. Or maybe 30, I can't remember. But you do the easiest one, basically, over and over again. Get to that 100, job done. And also those tomatoes and strawberries and all that, they all help with getting Haruka's delivery system going. So the back of the little house in Ryoma's villa, in the sort of top right corner, north of the sauna door, there is like a bookcase or whatever, and you go to that, and then she does deliveries. And basically, you need to get like a certain amount of things, so a certain amount of vegetables, a certain amount of this, a certain amount of that. And for that, you also need to do that a lot. So, you know, it all intertwines with each other, if that makes sense. But hopefully, you know, you'll get through it. It is time consuming, it is boring, and it is annoying. So for these ones, play with your dog 30 times. Basically, once you've done the friendships with the dogs, there's like 2 of them, I think, possibly, or 3 of them. Can't remember that. I think there's 2. So you save 2 dogs basically in the friendships, and then they come back to your villa. Oh, I think there's 3. Yeah, there's 3. They come back to your villa, so you can just like play with each one, go out, come back in, play with each one, go out, come back in. You have to do that 10 times. It is an absolute waste of time, but it is what it is. Same with the cats, same principle, same situation. You have a choice of 3 things. You can pick whatever 3, whichever one you want. Doesn't really affect it. There is a chicken coop at the sort of top end. It's outside Ryomu's villa. To the left. So all the way to the left. Sometimes you'll see a sort of flash on the ground, and that's basically a chicken egg. And again, you can just out in, 30 eggs. Fill 30 trade, 100 trade, 200 trade, so you need to do 200 trade orders with Haruka. But this also works towards getting, what's it called? Paying off the debt for the house. So you need, I can't remember how much it is, but every time you do one of the trade orders, you get sort of money for it. So you do that enough times, and then you'll get like a letter when you walk outside from one of the delivery people. It'll say, oh, he's ready for you to come and pay off 20 mil or 20 Rio. So you go and do that, and you do that 5 times, and you paid off the house, and that's another achievement. So it's all very intertwined. Again, catch 25 fish, 100 fish. Essentially, there's a few fishing points, so they're located sort of in the bottom right hand side of the map. There's one in Mukuroga, I think. But yeah, if you go to the Fushimi one, you can do the river fishing there, and then you can actually talk to someone there to do sea fishing. So there's a certain amount of river fish, certain amount of sea fish. Potentially different times of the day affect it. So I would look at Power Pixie's guide or Sirix's guide for that, because they're really good. And they will just tell you where it is, what it looks like, how to get it. Especially with things like this. So catch 10 tuna, catch a big tuna. So a big tuna, I think, is just a certain size. 10 tuna, you'd have to read guides to find out which one's a tuna. Like, you can notice them from the shadow, but certain ones are huge, and they're located sort of in the sea, and it's easier to just read Power Pixie's guide or something on that, rather than me explaining it, because I'd have to show you basically, and I can't find the footage, so that ain't happening anytime soon, unless I already did it. Maybe I already did it in a fishing video, potentially. Deepen your trust with Haruka and enjoy a slice of life. So yeah, these are the four slices of life to finish up. And basically that is just once your meter with Haruka gets higher, which gets higher from doing all the trade orders, all the cooking, all this and that, talking to the cats and the dogs and talking to her. Basically you'll have little moments. You have one in the sauna, one in the bed, one in the sort of resting area in the middle, and one when you're cooking, I think. Something like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. That's another life. Right, Utu Mariruya owner. So that's karaoke. Basically, you just go in, do the karaoke, and it'll keep going up and up and up. As long as you don't mess up the song horrendously, you should be fine with that. You've got the Umai Udon owner. So this is the Udon owner, and you can do that. I think it's a sub-story which unlocks the bond, and then basically every time you buy the udon, or every time you do his mini game, then you get a more trust with him throughout. The next one is the Maijo Sensei Boyo Dance minigame. So basically for this, you just need to do the Nichibuza dance minigame. So, you know, with the fans, you're there doing the dance, just keep doing that. As long as you get the passing grade, you should be fine. Shinto Priest. Shinto Priest, top left corner of the map. Basically, you get his exchange opened, and then I think maybe once you got a certain amount of virtue, it'll probably unlock the next sort of levels of it. So that'll be the Shinto Priest. Akari is the shrine maiden, so she stands next to the Shinto priest, so you just talk to her over and over again. And then again a cutscene ensues. Hanamaru Udon. Again, this is another food restaurant, so you just order more food. Food, easy done. Bond with Anna, the courtesan. So yeah, this one you just play the games. You're gonna have to play the game of this on the max level, I think, or the second last max level. So you just have to keep playing basically, and then once you've done it, and she gives you another glorious session. Mahjong. So yeah, basically you have to play Mahjong. Once you've played, leave the area and then come back. Because it has a cutscene as you're leaving, and then your bond increases after each game and come back. I don't think you have to play the game. I think you can just quit out if you don't want to play Mahjong. I think you have to play Mahjong. I don't know if you have to win. I can't remember on the mini games. You probably do. There's probably some sort of trophy for it, or some sort of amount like 35k or something. But yeah, Mahjong. Basically just quit and walk out and then walk back in, or just play it and lose or win, you know, it's all good. Shogi parlor owner. So again, we've got a video on Shogi on the challenge mode, so if you want to check that out to get easy wins, please do check that out, and the friendship should be done pretty quickly. Choan. I think you have to play the game, leave, play the game, leave, play the game, leave, and then basically she gives you an ultimatum at the end, and you either win or lose, so you can double your money or not. Chicken racing, the greatest place to earn money and virtue. So yeah, we've got videos on that. Please feel free to look at them. It will help your playthrough, at least for the grinding sections and possibly the, you know, buying decent weapons and stuff. So definitely worth a look. But again, you just race chickens, leave, come back, race chickens, leave, come back. Ichikura owner. So this is the general goods store. Basically, you need to just buy goods from him, and it'll keep going up and up and up. And then that'll be that. Sushi Zanmai, again, is another restaurant one, so you just eat at the restaurant and then he might ask you to do something afterwards for him. But yeah, standard. Fuku pub owner, again, this is just getting your drinks in, and that should be fine. Echudo Apothecary, I think this is the guy on the top right hand side of the map, which I took a while to find this dude, because it's quite a little dinky shop. But yeah, he basically gives you medicines and stuff, but you have to take a hit every time you talk to him. So take a load of healings from the Shinto priest before you do it. So what you can do with that is just buy his thing, well, go talk to him, you'll lose a load of health, something mad will happen. Use the heal to get yourself to full, save the game, quit out, load it, and then you can do that over and over again to speed up the process. The Uji tea parlor girl. So basically you just want to buy her tea over and over again. Again, you can do the loading thing. If they're not allowing you to progress, just load it, and it should let you progress. It's usually more with the friendships normal that comes into play, saving time. Don Quixote, again, that's another big shop. You just buy things, and that's pretty much it. Ibizu pawnbroker. So again, another shop, buy things, you'll get through. Kasuga Okami. Again, this is a restaurant, I think. So you just eat food and then get to the end of that. Kitchen Ioba Chef, again, it's a food one. greengrocer, basically you just buy stuff from the greengrocer and it'll go up. Rack of Arms dealer, same thing, buy and it'll go up. Palanquin, if you just use the Palanquin taxi service, that should go up pretty quickly. And then the Momokawa Brothers, again, it's another restaurant. I think they have one of their meals is at a different time. It's like a lunchbox at lunch or something like that. So definitely worth looking into. And then we get on to friendships. So, friendships. Start with the bond with the servile beggar. So it's sub-story 34. I've got sub-stories, separate videos, so if you need locations or whatever, you'll see where it is pretty much. Or I'll tell you where it is in the video. So basically you just give him some food, and then with these you can just save it, load it, talk to him again, give him some food, save it, load it. That's honestly way quicker than back and forth in out of doors, into doors. It's just way quicker. And again, there's a cutscene at the end of that. The Hungry Sumo Wrestler, so that's sub-story 12. And yeah, basically you just give him food. It can be vegetables as well, which is useful because you should have millions of them from doing the Another Life thing. But yeah, again, save it, load it, save it, load it. I'm going to keep saying it. Revolutionary Chef is sub-story 58. So you give him cooked food from your inventory. So you make food at the Ryoma's Villa. And I think it can be any dish, as far as I'm aware. And then he gives you like a recipe at the end of it. So that's another recipe that you get to cook at Ryoma's Villa. So I'll add to another part of the completion. The Love-Starved Husband, so that's sub-story 13. It's a guy on a beach and he just wants some cooked meals as well. So same process as the one before. So you just give him cooked meals and then you get whatever you get at the end of it. Bond with the Sword Nut. So this one's slightly different. It's sub-story 25, so he asks you for specific swords. So you'll basically need to go to the what's it called, the blacksmith, and you can buy all these, or you can create them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So you got the ebony sword, the Yaksha blade, the Vulpecula, and the King of Beasts. And if you have any issues with that, we're going to make a separate video. In fact, no, we're not going to make a separate video on that, but we are going to make a separate video on seals and stuff like that. Because crafting was a nightmare, and it's just way better to use like a spreadsheet guide on that. So if you see on the crafting, go to like PowerPix's guide. There's like, they give you the specific amounts. Or you can go to Sirix's. They give you the specific amounts of tools you need and components. So some of them you can buy, and then you have to get the components generally from the dungeons. You can get them from elsewhere, but mostly it's from the dungeons. So it's definitely worth just having a written guide for that. It's too long to explain every single one. But that's the short version of it. Bond with the Battered Defender, that's sub-story 26. So you just heal the dude, so you just give him like, you know, small potion or whatever. Don't know what they were called, pots. Something that heals him, basically. Anything that heals him. And then again, load, save, load, save, load. And you'll get that done pretty quick. Amnesiac, so he's in the forest somewhere. Sub-story 65. Again, it's another recovery item one, so it's pretty standard. Sub-story 14 is the Oblivious Woman. So again, you just give her vegetables and the level goes up until the end. Bond with the Veggie Loving Boy, again, you just give him vegetables, save, load, save, load, save, load. Some of these do appear in different areas on the, like when you get to the final sort of bar or whatever it is, they sort of disappear and go somewhere else, but you're probably best looking that up at the time for each specific one. It's pretty rare though. Most of them are just all in the same place. Bond with the desperate fisherman, so that's sub-story 50. You just give the man a fish, and then again, save load, keep giving him fish. Bond with the injured grandma, sub-story 15. Basically, you just talk to her, and then you go and buy stuff from the shop for her, and then that's it. That's the mysterious injured grandma. Mysterious merchant, sub-story 27. So you just need to give him 10 tomatoes, and then a loincloth, scrap paper, natto, and then ginseng. So he's like a weird one because he's sort of located sort of is it the north left side of the map, or sort of middle left side of the map, and he's sort of hidden behind like a wooden door, which isn't particularly noticeable, so keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, you just give him what he wants and that's it. Bond with a sexy madam, you just give her cucumber, carrot, eggplant, daikon, and then a pumpkin. So yeah, there's a bit of innuendo in that one, it's quite funny. And then Bond with Junk Boy is sub-story 51, and you just give him anything. So just give him like the worst things in your inventory, that's all good. Then you've got the Bond with the trash dealer, trigger sub-story 35. Again, you just give him any item you want, same as the Junk Boy. Woodcutter, sub-story 52. You play the Woodcutter minigame, and you just do that over and over again. Eventually you'll get it. You need to do 500 choppings of the wood anyway, so that'll come naturally. Frequently lost courier, sub-story 53. So you basically just deliver packages around the town wherever he wants. If you do get lost on that, you can give that. There's probably a guide for it, but he does tell you where they are pretty specifically in the area. So again, Power Picks, Series Z, probably got information on that if you need it. Bond with Patient Dog, sub-story 54. Just give him some food, save and load, and then it'll join you in the house, which is nice. Injured Dog, healing item, again, save and load, sub-story 36 that is. Bond with the Barking Dog is sub-story 16, so you just give him a bone, basically. You buy the bones from the Ibizu pawn store, and then just give the dog the bone, save and load, same situation. Hungry Cat, sub-story 28. I think you give him fish, so you need to obviously go do some fishing, which you'll have to do anyway for the Another Life section. So basically just give him any fish, give him the cheapest fish you can find, it's all good. Save and load, usual. Filthy Cat, sub-story 55. I think you basically just walk into that cat on sort of the bottom left hand side of the map, and then you have a little cutscene and you just keep doing that, save and load. And then you got Bond with the Lucky Cat, which is the final one, which is sub-story 17, and basically you give money to the cat over and over again, save and load, and eventually you'll get a little story at the end, which is fun. That brings us finally onto Battle, everyone's favourite. So, a Man of Goodness, 100, Man of Greatness, Man of Renown, Man of Justice. Basically, you just have to beat 500 enemies. Whether that's 500 separate fights or 500 just separate enemies, can't remember. But you'll probably notice when you're doing it. But yeah, easily enough, you get in fights all the time on this game, it's crazy. Battle dungeons, so they are located in the Shinsengumi headquarters in Mibu. So basically, you just clear the dungeon 100 times. You're going to be grinding out this anyway in the dungeons for all the materials. Different levels give you different materials. You can see what the level gives you. It's not guaranteed that you'll get it, but it is like sort of a luck-based thing. So that's that. 100 times. That's quite a lot, by the way. But you will be doing Sonada's takedown as well a lot, just to get you get money from it, and you get the Dragon Hawk as well, which gives you 200 Rio if you sell it, or around that amount. And you also get like Dragon Fangs and Dragon Whiskers and all the important ones from Sonada takedown, pretty much. So yeah, you'll be doing a lot of that. I think there's 40 dungeons in total to start with anyway, so you have to beat them all once. That's 40 out of 100, and then the grinding, you're going to go way past 100 unless you're really, really lucky. Golden Sneaks, 20 golden sneaks. There is a sort of section, I think it's near one of the bridges, where if you go there at night and then you just use the what's it called, the shrine there. I think if you use the shrine there, it redistributes the enemies. And if you see like someone on their own, I think there's a mask that you get, which shows you where the enemies are on the map. So if you use that, you can see where there's one person, and then you can just run over and keep beating them and beating them and beating them. It's really useful that for the seals, because the golden sneaks do have a chance of dropping certain seals. But again, so do the battle people, the normal people. So yeah, it's one of those. And then I will be doing a video on seals, because it's just the worst thing ever. That pretty much put me off the entire game. But it is what it is. We've got Skilled Fighter, Brutal Fighter, Climactic Fighter. So dispatch the final enemy with heat action or special move 50 times. So heat actions, obviously you know how to do them if you've played the game before. It's just triangle when it pops up. Special moves is, I think you hold R2, and that drains your heat, but it does a lot of damage and should pretty much kill everyone. Easy enough. Where are we? Destroy objects, sorry, 50 times. So there's a bit on the left hand side of the map where there's a sort of bar, but there's a load of tables and chairs there, so you can just use the tables and chairs there, just pick them up, start battering them with the chairs. Once the chairs run out, use the tables. Once the tables run out, just beat them and then load it, save it and load it obviously. And then just keep doing that. You get about 50 really quickly on that. Activate trooper abilities 1500 times. You're going to do this throughout the game anyway, but you'll be doing it in the dungeons a lot. So yeah, that is pretty much it. If you have any specific questions, let me know in the comments. I know it's a long video, but I did want to go through each one specifically to try and help anyone that is struggling. If you are having any issues, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate anyone that watched it. Thank you for watching. Take care. Peace out. Like and subscribe. The usual good stuff. Peace.